Hi, this is Jeff Wentworth from CurveGrid. I'm going to walk you through the OMG Network Reddit Community Points Engine dashboard powered by CurveGrid MultiBaas. And this dashboard really serves two purposes. First, it's an interface for subreddit moderators and Reddit admins to be able to manage the supply side of the Community Points Engine. So the Chrome extension that you see in the OMG Network subreddit and other subreddits in the future, that is for Reddit users to be able to transfer and manage and redeem for Flare and other items their community points. This dashboard is for subreddit moderators, Reddit admins, to be able to manage the actual issuance of points and the mechanics of the supply side. There's a second use case, which is for software engineers that are actually building on top of the Community Points Engine as well. And I'm going to show you a little bit of that today too. So this dashboard is broken down into a few different sections. The first section here is the distribution contract. And the distribution contract sits at the top of the point contracts and karma contracts, which you should be familiar with from actually receiving points and redeeming points. And so what we have here is the distribution contract for the OMG Network subreddit. In the future, you can add distribution contracts for other subreddits as well if you wanted. The second section here deals with methods or functions on the Ethereum smart contracts themselves. And these are both read and write functions. So we actually have the ability to query the smart contracts. We can query the distribution contract to get the address of the points contract. We can actually use it to advance the next round, so issuing essentially additional points, managing the points that are burned. And then there's other functionality as well, to be able to transfer points on the Ethereum root chain, Ethereum blockchain root chain, as well as deposit them to the OMG Network child chain. So what we've got down here in the next section is actually the account balance on the child chain itself, the OMG Network child chain itself. You can see here's the balance of this address. We're automatically shifting decimals on the middleware layer. And in the distribution section, now we have the ability to actually distribute points to a single recipient. So I've added another 100 there to this address, or to multiple recipients, where essentially we can put in as many addresses as we want and click submit, and then those will again get appended down here or added to, right? So that gives, at least in this iteration, a really fast, easy way for the subreddit moderators to essentially be able to distribute points as required. I also mentioned software engineers, and all of these functions actually have integrated API documentation, which allows for the subreddit moderators or who are software engineers to essentially be able to build on top of this. And you can see that what we're doing here for the deposit method is dynamically computing this essentially argument that is going to that's following the EIP or ERC 712 standard, right? Which is for which is what the child chain, the OMG Network child chain uses to actually encode transactions that will be signed to go into it, right? And so you ask, how do we sign these transactions, right? I mean, how do we actually distribute thousands and thousands of points at one time? I have a single address here, which, if I was permissioned to, I would, distribute 2,100 points. But if I've got 1,000 people in my subreddit or 100,000 people on multiple subreddits or hundreds of millions of users on Reddit, how would I actually do that? And the answer is within the MultiBaas middleware that this is built on top of, we actually have hardware, security module, enterprise wallets that automate this process. Right now, we spent our time basically focusing on getting everything else right around this. We all know that the OMG network is capable of an extremely high number of transactions per second. We use a fairly naive way of managing UTXOs at the moment. So essentially, we process those transactions 2 at a time, which is, for these purposes, more than sufficient. So here's the main dashboard with integrated API documentation for subreddit moderators who are also software engineers, or for their software engineers that they're going to delegate to. I want to show you a few other functions of this, that we've got built in to really help things. And this is what I talk about, the extra functionality and kind of going the extra mile here. So in addition to the functionality I just showed you, we've got things like integrated API keys, as well as two-factor authentication. We've also got the ability to look at events primarily on the root chain at this point, and interact with all of the smart contracts. So here we have the full set of functions or on the distribution contract, as well as all the events that have been posted to it. We also have the full set of functions on the Plasma framework contracts as well. And so you can see that if you're a software engineer and you're not just trying to build kind of some of the higher level functions to interact with the community points, but you really want to dig a little bit deeper, this could be handy for you. And we've got all of the standard sort of integrated API documentation here as well as a number of other kind of interesting functions in a general MultiBaas that we've ported over to this dashboard that I think might be interesting. So that is a quick tour of the OMG Network Community Points Engine dashboard for Reddit, subreddit moderators, and Reddit admins. Thank you.